In this video, I'm going to help you understand how to figure out what words mean. Sometimes when we're reading, we run across words that we haven't seen before, or maybe we have seen them before and just didn't know what they meant. So I'm going to show you 6 strategies to help you figure out words in context. This is sometimes called context clues. So I have my notebook that I'm using for this course. If you did the math with me, we've worked in that math tab, but I'm going to go to the reading tab for this one. And I have turned to my first page where I have set up memory piece number 1. And remember, memory pieces are things that you need to commit to memory. They're things that you need to not only memorize, but to really understand. I don't want you just to memorize to have something to do. I want you to truly understand what's in these memory pieces, because these are the things that will help you pass an exam. Okay, so the first one is item 1. It has 2 pieces, and I have shown you in the assembly video how to set that up. So you should have something that looks like this once it's folded, and you can go ahead and glue this down if you want, or you can wait and glue it at the end. It's entirely up to you. But somewhere on your page, you're just going to put this down, and when it's folded, you can see the 6 types of strategies that I'm going to show you, and you can review those at a later time. So I'm going to start with this green one, and that one is called inference. So if you open up the inference door, this is the example that I have used. And this comes from the TABE Tutor textbook. So if your teacher is having you to work from that textbook, you will see this in there. Okay, let's read the sentences, and see if we can figure out how to use this inference strategy. Good athletes are always introspective. They never stop studying themselves to understand how they can get better. And we're supposed to figure out what the word introspective means. Now, this is a big word. It has 4 syllables. Introspective. So let me write that down for you. Introspective. It always helped me when I was in school if I could break the word down into syllables. We called this sounding it out, and I'm not taking it away. I just need to write it a little bit smaller. Introspective. And because we're dealing with language arts and reading, I am going to mark the syllables for you when I do this. You can start to pick up a little bit about phonics. So this I is short. It's closed in by that N. The O is long because it's not closed in. Eh. And this is a long I. Actually, this is not a long I. This one is an exception. I'm just going to leave that one blank. But it says introspective. Introspective. Okay, let's use the strategy of inferences. Drawing an inference means that you use clues to come to your own conclusion. You aren't told what something means or what something is. You have to figure it out. You have to read between the lines. Okay? So this one is talking about athletes, which are men and women, boys and girls who play sports. So good sports players are always, this is a habit that they're always doing, introspective. They never stop studying themselves to understand how they can get better. So what does it mean to be introspective? The definition is really in there if we just know what we're looking for. Do you agree with me that we're talking about something that athletes do? Good athletes are always doing this thing called introspection. So let's look for another word in this sentence that is about doing, that's an action. Well, studying is definitely an action. Never stop. Stop is an action, but this is saying they don't stop studying themselves. Understand is an action, and get better is an action. So here's the definition. Introspection or introspective means studying oneself. And when we say studying oneself, let's go a little bit deeper. Let's dig a little bit deeper. Studying one's own actions. So I'm saying that good athletes never stop studying one's own actions. If you play basketball, you're interested in how many shots you made and how many shots you missed. You're interested in your own performance, not just your teammates' performances. So introspective means that you are studying your own actions. And why? Why would you want to do that? Why is it important to do that? To understand yourself. Oneself. Why would you want to understand yourself if you're an athlete? What's the purpose of that? It's studying your own actions to understand yourself in order to improve. And you see, I'm not just copying what's in the sentence. Part of this strategy involves putting things in your own words. So introspective means that it's a process of studying yourself to improve yourself, to make yourself a better person, a better athlete in this case. So I use the clues that are in that sentence, that second sentence, to help me understand what the word means. That is drawing an inference. Okay, the second strategy is under there, and that one is synonyms. This is the blue door. And this is a science passage. Carbon monoxide is a poisonous gas. Noxious fumes can fill a space without warning. This toxic vapor can quickly kill animals. And we're supposed to list 2 sets of synonyms. Each set should have 3 words. Well, first we need to define what a synonym is, or what synonyms are. These come in pairs, synonyms. Synonyms are words that mean the same. Or nearly the same. They don't have to be exactly the same, but they're words that mean the same or nearly the same. Synonyms. So we're supposed to find 2 sets of synonyms in this passage. So one of them, I'm going to start with the word poisonous, because I know that poisonous and toxic mean the same. So poisonous and toxic are synonyms. And they have a third synonym in this passage. The word noxious. Noxious fumes. Fumes are something that I breathe. So poisonous fumes, toxic fumes, noxious fumes. Those words all mean the same. So because I know what poisonous means, I can figure out what noxious and toxic mean. We're talking about something I breathe. Okay, so I breathe a poisonous gas. I breathe noxious fumes or toxic vapor. Those three words are synonyms. Gas, fumes, and vapor. Those are all of a similar meaning. I do want to call your attention to something that may help you. If you notice, this set of words are all adjectives. So synonyms will be the same part of speech. If you're looking for synonyms on a test, if you have to pick out synonyms, if poisonous is an adjective, and it is, that means that its synonyms will also be adjectives. So noxious and toxic, those are adjectives. These words are nouns. And if you have no idea what I mean by adjectives and nouns, there's a language course coming. So if you're interested in that, that one will be available after the reading course. So these two sets of synonyms each have three words. Poisonous, toxic, and noxious are in a set, and then gas, fumes, and vapor are in a set. And you can use those words interchangeably. If you're writing an essay, you can use the word gas or you can use the word vapor, and you're not changing the meaning of your words. Okay, our next type of clue is called antonyms. This is the purple one, and it goes right here. Antonyms. And before I even read the sentence, let me tell you what antonyms mean. Antonyms are words that are opposites, like black and white, tall and short, hot and cold. So these are words that have opposite meanings. Synonyms same, antonyms opposite. So here's the little passage that I'm supposed to read. As soon as the car accident happened, I was nonplussed. But after a short time had passed, I began to calm down. Let me read that again. As soon as the car accident happened, I was nonplussed. But after a short time had passed, I began to calm down. What is the one word in that passage that you've never heard of? Probably. You may have. I hadn't. This is not one I'm familiar with. It's this word right here. Nonplussed. So this is saying as soon as the car accident happened, I was nonplussed. So let's just use a bit of common sense here. If you have just been in a car accident, even a minor one, what would you be feeling? How would you be feeling after you had just been in a car accident? I would be feeling very nervous. I would be feeling very confused, maybe not sure how to react to something. So nonplussed is the same, probably, as afraid, excited, anxious. But after a short time had passed, I began to calm down. Now here's a big clue in this passage. This one has a very big keyword, and that's the word but. But suggests to me that there are antonyms. That in the beginning of the story I feel one way, and at the end of the story I feel another way. So the word nonplussed, which I can figure out, means something similar to surprised, confused, nervous. And the word calm are antonyms. They are opposites of each other. So those are antonyms. Again, that word but, that conjunction, is a very big clue that antonyms are involved. Okay, the next one is the red one about definitions. Sometimes the definition of an unknown word is right there in the story. So let's see if we can figure out this one. Green plants carry out photosynthesis. They need water, sunlight, and carbon dioxide for this process of making their own food. So the big science word is photosynthesis. Science has a lot of this type of passage. You'll have the unfamiliar word, and then the definition is in there. Photosynthesis is the process of making their own food. So if we need a definition of photosynthesis, here it comes. The process that green plants use Now, I've had some students to stop right there. The process that green plants use. But that's really not enough. We need to tell what that process is for. To make their own food. That is the definition, the meaning of photosynthesis. Okay, let me look at the next one, which is the orange one, and this is about word parts. And I'm going to use that same word, photosynthesis, to show you this one. So I want you to go ahead and write the word photosynthesis right here. Photosynthesis. This particular strategy is talking to you about the parts of words. The root is the main part of the word. This is where the meaning of the word is contained. And in the word photosynthesis, the root is right here. Let me actually write this a little bit larger, okay? Sorry, and I'm going to write it in black because I need to highlight. So we have photo, synth, and I'm not breaking by syllables. I'm breaking by word parts on this one. Here's your root, synth. And I know from many years of studying science that synth means to make. Okay. synthesize or synthetic. Those all have to do with making something, producing something. So this action, the meaning of this word is making something. In this case, we know that the plants are making food because of our last example. Photo. Photo is called the prefix. A root is the main part of the word. The prefix is a word part added at the beginning of a word. It does not change the spelling of the root. So you can add all the prefixes you want without changing the spelling of your root word. So photo is the prefix and it means light. Now this looks like it would mean to make light or to produce light. But we know that photosynthesis is the process in which plants make food. But they need light. Remember the things that they needed to make their food? If you look back at that example, they need water, sunlight, and carbon dioxide. So that sunlight is the photo part of this word. And then the suffix is a word part added at the end of a word, and it may change the spelling of the root. Suffixes can change spellings. And esis, in this case, is a process. So photosynthesis is the process in which plants use light to make food. This one is really a good one to show you the parts of the word. Here's the prefix, goes at the beginning. Prefixes never change the spelling of the root. And here is the root word. Esis is the suffix. And there you have a very big scientific word, photosynthesis. Let me give you one more. I'm going to scoot this over. If you can't do that, it's okay. Actually, I can't do it either. Let me just come over here to the side and show you one more. You can write this at the side or on scrap paper. This one is a good one. Let's do antibiotic. Antibiotic. I always learned to look for my root first. And there's bio, which means life. Anti is your prefix. And anti means against, going against. So this is something that goes against life. And ick means having the properties of. I could do these all day. I love to do these. So an antibiotic is something that has the properties of a substance that goes against life. An antibiotic is a medicine that does what? It kills bacteria. It goes against bacteria life. And let me show you one more because we've talked about this one already. Toxic. Now this one doesn't have a prefix. It has a root, tox, which I know what was one of the synonyms for tox? Poison. And ick means having the properties of. So toxic means that something has the properties of a poison. So you see, when you learn how to break these words down with roots and suffixes and prefixes, this can help you break down those really big words. I think I'm going to leave it there. Like I said, I could go on and on, but that gives you an idea of what I mean by prefix, root, and suffix. And we are going to practice these as we go through our workbook exercises. Okay, the last one, the yellow one, is example. Using examples to understand unfamiliar words. So let's look at this one. Several famous people have had martinet personalities. So here is the unknown word. We're talking about people, personalities, and this is talking about famous people. These include Adolf Hitler. Okay, I know who Hitler was. The man in Germany who slaughtered millions of people. And General George Patton. General Patton was a famous American general. He's not known for slaughtering other people, though. General Patton is an American hero. Adolf Hitler is not a hero. So this doesn't have anything to do with heroes, because we had Adolf Hitler and George Patton would be antonyms. They're not the same kind of people. Some people describe their parents and grandparents as martinets too. Okay, so I have Adolf Hitler, George Patton, my parents, and my grandparents. So this is not making a lot of sense. Because, now that's important, because this is giving me a clue that something important's coming up. They did not tolerate any nonsense. So we're supposed to figure out what the word martinet means, and we're supposed to list 4 examples. Well, I'm going to start by listing the examples because those are given to me in the text. We have Hitler, General Patton, parents, and grandparents. So I can't say that martinet means bad. My parents and my grandparents were not bad people. General Patton is not considered an evil person, even though Hitler is. So it's not about bad and good. Here's the clue. There's a definition in there. You see how I'm using all of these clues together. They did not tolerate any nonsense. A martinet is a strict person. We're talking about people here, so we can say that. Strict means they didn't tolerate any nonsense, and you could leave it right there. A strict person who obeys or who enforces, let's say who enforces rules. So one of the answers a test might give you is a bad person. Well, my parents, my grandparents, General Patton, those do not fit the description of bad. So I wouldn't want to go with that one. Even though Hitler, I could say, was a bad person. You have to really, really, really pay attention. A disciplinarian, an authoritarian, a tyrant, a drill sergeant, a taskmaster. Those are some other words that mean the same. They're synonyms for martinet. Okay, we have used lots of different examples to understand what words mean, unfamiliar words. And you can use all of these tools to improve your reading. If you practice them and really learn how to use them, these will help you become a better reader. You will comprehend more of what you read. But this does take practice. So don't forget about this piece. Come back to this one and review it often, and it will help you. In the next video, we're going to practice some of these in the workbook. So I'll see you soon for that one, and I hope you have a really good day. Bye-bye.